His fist slammed the mahogany table, crystal glasses jumping. My breath caught as Kim Dae-jung's dark eyes bore into mine, eyes that had looked at me with tenderness just 3 weeks ago. Now they were ice. "You will represent me, Ms. Carter." Silk wrapped around steel. This is not a request. My hands trembled as I gripped my leather portfolio. I said, "No, I don't care who you are." 7 men in black suits lining his office walls shifted. The temperature dropped 10 degrees. Dae-jung leaned forward, and I caught that scent, sandalwood and danger, that used to make my knees weak. "Do you understand what happens to people who refuse me?" "I understand perfectly, but I'm not one of your people. I'm a federal prosecutor, and I will not defend a crime lord." Silence swallowed the room whole. Then he smiled. That beautiful, terrible smile that had once made me forget my own name. "You already did, darling. 3 weeks ago. In my bed. On video." Everything stopped. My heart, my breath, time itself. "What?" "The camera in my bedroom. It caught everything. Every sound you made, every time you called my name, every law you broke by sleeping with a man under federal investigation." He tilted his head. "Imagine what the State Bar Association would say, what it would do to your career, your family, your precious reputation." The room spun. I gripped the table's edge. "You're lying." "Am I?" He pulled out his phone, turned it toward me. There I was, my brown skin against his white sheets, my head thrown back, I was going to be sick. 3 months earlier. "Girl, you need to get laid." Keisha threw a French fry at me across our usual booth at Mel's Diner. It bounced off my briefcase. I'd come straight from the courthouse in my Navy power suit, locks tied back in a neat bun. "I need to close this case against the Beck family. 18 months, Keisha. 18 months trying to bring down one of the biggest Korean organized crime operations on the East Coast." "Exactly. 18 months without a date. Your coochie probably has cobwebs." "Oh my God." I laughed despite myself. Can you not be a nun?" Her dark eyes sparkled. "It's Friday night. You're 32, fine as hell, and going home to what? Case files?" She grabbed my hand. "Come out with me. Just drinks, just dancing, just be human for 3 hours. Please?" I looked at her, really looked. Keisha had been there through every breakdown in law school, every time I doubted myself as one of the few black women in the prosecutor's office, every time the weight of perfection got too heavy. "Fine, but just drinks, and I'm driving myself." "Yes, go home, put on something that shows you have a body under those pantsuits, and meet me at Noir at 10. "Noir? That new club in Manhattan? Keisha, that place is expensive, exclusive, and exactly where we need to be. Trust me." I should have known better, should have stayed home. But at 10:47 p.m., I walked into Noir wearing a black dress that hugged curves I usually kept hidden, my locks loose and falling past my shoulders. The bass vibrated through my chest as purple and blue lights cut through manufactured fog. "You look incredible." Keisha linked her arm through mine, gold sequins catching every light. "This is the real Zara Carter, not that courtroom robot." The club was packed with Manhattan's elite. Hedge fund managers, tech entrepreneurs, that actress from that Netflix show. Everyone here had money, power, or both. We claimed a spot near the bar. For the first time in months, I let myself relax. The music was good. The drink was strong. Keisha was making me laugh. Then I saw him. VIP section, elevated above the main floor. Even from a distance, he commanded attention. Sharply dressed in all black, dark hair styled perfectly, strong jawline. 6 security guards surrounded him. He was listening to someone talk, expression unreadable. Powerful. This man radiated power. "Who is that?" I asked, not realizing I'd said it aloud. Keisha followed my gaze, eyes going wide. "Oh, hell no. That's Kim Dae-jung. owns half the real estate in Manhattan, clubs, restaurants, hotels, came from Korea 10 years ago and built an empire. She gripped my arm. He's also dangerous as fuck. Rumors of organized crime, money laundering, the kind of shit you prosecute. So no, absolutely not. But it was too late. When I glanced back, he was looking directly at me. Our eyes met across the crowded club, and electricity shot through my body. He didn't smile, didn't wave, just looked at me with an intensity that made my skin flush hot. Then he stood up. "Oh shit," Keisha breathed. "He's coming." The crowd parted for him like the Red Sea. 3 security guards followed. Women turned to stare. Men stepped aside. Kim Dae-jung walked straight toward me with the confidence of someone who'd never been told no in his entire life. He stopped 2 feet away. Up close, he was devastating. At least 6'2", broad shoulders, a face that belonged on magazine covers. But his eyes held me frozen. Dark, intelligent, dangerous. "You don't belong here." His voice was deep, accented. "Excuse me?" My spine straightened. I'd face down murderers in court. I wasn't going to be intimidated by a pretty face. The corner of his mouth lifted, almost a smile. "This place is full of people pretending to be important, but you—" His eyes traveled down my body slowly, deliberately. "You actually are. You don't know anything about me. I know you've been standing here 20 minutes without checking your phone for validation. I know you're drinking a Mai Tai but watching the exit like you're planning your escape. I know your friend dragged you here against your better judgment." He stepped closer. "And I know you were staring at me." Heat flooded my cheeks. I was not. Yes, you were. And I've been staring at you since you walked in. Close enough now that I could smell his cologne. Expensive, masculine, intoxicating. "Dance with me." "I don't even know you." "Dae-jung." He extended his hand. "And you're Zara. Your friend said your name earlier." I looked at his hand, then at Keisha, who was shaking her head frantically. Every instinct screamed danger. This man was connected to everything I'd spent my career fighting. I should walk away. I took his hand. He led me onto the dance floor. A slower song had started, sultry and hypnotic. He pulled me close, not inappropriately, but close enough that I could feel his body's heat, the solid wall of his chest. "You're tense." His breath was warm against my ear. I'm always tense. That's a problem. His hand splayed across my lower back, electricity shooting up my spine. "What do you do that makes you so serious?" I couldn't tell him. Couldn't say I'm prosecuting your entire operation. "I'm a lawyer." That explains the armor." His thumb traced circles on my back. "Always fighting, always defending. Who protects you, Zara?" Something about how he said my name made my knees weak. I protect myself. That sounds exhausting. It was. God, it was. But I'd never admitted that to anyone. Why did this stranger make me want to confess everything? We danced through 3 songs. He didn't talk much, just held me like I was something precious. Other people existed, but I only saw him, only felt him. "Come upstairs with me," he murmured into my hair. "I don't do that. I'm not—" "I know." He pulled back, something soft in his expression. "Just talk. Just drinks. Away from all this noise. Please." I should have said no, should have walked away right then. But something in his eyes looked lonely. Something in his voice sounded genuine. And something in me, something I'd buried under case files and ambition, wanted to say yes. "Okay, just talk." His private suite was massive, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan, modern furniture, expensive art, a bar that probably cost more than my car. "Sit." He gestured to white leather. "What do you drink? And don't say Mai Tai." I laughed. "Whiskey. Neat." His eyebrows rose. "A woman after my own heart." He poured amber liquid from a crystal decanter. Probably some rare Japanese whiskey costing $500 a bottle. When he sat, he left respectful distance between us. "Tell me something true," he said. "What?" "Everyone lies in this city. Everyone performs. Tell me something true about yourself." I sipped the whiskey. It burned perfectly. "I'm tired." "Of what?" "Everything. Being the best. Being strong. Being the one who has to prove herself in every room because she's a black woman in a white man's world." The words tumbled out. "I'm tired of carrying everything alone." Dae-jung was quiet. Then, "I understand. More than you know. I came here with nothing, built everything from the ground up. And every day people wait for the foreigner to fail, wait to tear down everything I've created." He stared into his glass. "It's lonely at the top. Everyone wants your money, your power, your connections, but never just you." I looked at him. Really looked. Beneath the expensive suit and dangerous reputation, I saw something familiar. Someone who carried too much. Someone who couldn't show weakness. Someone like me. "Why did you bring me up here?" He turned, intensity in his eyes making my breath catch. "Because when I saw you, I saw someone real. Someone who doesn't want anything from me." He stopped himself, shook his head. "I just knew I had to talk to you." The space between us felt charged, electric, dangerous. "I should go," I said, but didn't move. "You should," he agreed, but leaned closer. "This is a bad idea. Terrible idea. I don't even know you. Then get to know me." His hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone. "Stay, just for tonight. Let's both pretend we're not who we have to be tomorrow." Every logical part of my brain screamed, "Run." But my heart pounded with something I hadn't felt in years: want, need, connection. When he kissed me, the world disappeared. It started soft, tentative. But when I kissed him back, something broke open in both of us. His hands tangled in my locks. My fingers gripped his shirt. The kiss deepened, desperate, like we were drowning and each other was air. "Zara," he breathed against my lips. "Tell me to stop." "Don't stop, please don't stop." I woke up in silk sheets with sunlight streaming through windows. For one blissful moment, I felt peaceful, sated, happy. Then reality crashed down. I sat up, clutching the sheet, the penthouse, the whiskey, oh God, what had I done? Dae-jung emerged from the bathroom in only black dress pants, chest bare, hair damp. He looked like sin. "Good morning." His smile was soft. "I made coffee. Or I can order—" "I have to go." I scrambled for my dress, my shoes, my dignity. "Zara, wait." "No, this was a mistake. Last night shouldn't have happened." His expression shifted, closed off. "I see. You don't understand. I'm not—" How could I explain without revealing who I really was? I don't do this. I don't sleep with strangers. I'm not a stranger anymore. Last night meant something. You can't tell me it didn't. It had. God help me, it had meant everything, but that made it worse. I'm sorry. I grabbed my purse, headed for the door. "Please don't try to contact me." "Zara." I ran. Down the hallway, into the elevator, through the lobby. I ran like my life depended on it. Because maybe it did. 2 weeks later, the Beck family has been operating in New York for 15 years. I stood at the conference table presenting to my prosecution team. They control gambling, extortion, money laundering through legitimate businesses. We finally have enough evidence to bring them down. District Attorney Morrison leaned back. "What about the Kim connection? Intel suggests Kim Dae-jung is the real power behind the Beck operations." My heart stopped. Kim Dae-jung? The real estate mogul. We believe he's financing the Beck family, using his businesses to launder money. Morrison pulled up a photo on the projector. There he was. Dae-jung. My Dae-jung. Except he wasn't mine. He was a crime lord. We need someone to get close to him. Someone he'd trust. No. The word came out sharp. Every eye turned to me. That's entrapment. Any evidence gathered that way would be inadmissible. Not if we do it right. Morrison studied me. You okay, Carter? You look pale. I'm fine. I think we should focus on the Beck family. We have solid evidence there. But Morrison's eyes had that gleam. I want surveillance on Kim, financial records, everything. He looked directly at me. Carter, you're my lead on this. I wanted to vomit. I avoided Noir, avoided anywhere I might see him, buried myself in case files and tried to forget how his hands had felt on my skin. But fate had other plans. 3 weeks later, I was grabbing coffee near the courthouse when I heard that voice. You ran. I froze, turned slowly. Dae-jung stood 3 feet away in a charcoal suit, but his expression was ice. I don't know what you're talking about. My prosecutor voice, cool, detached. Yes, you do. You ran that morning, like I was... He stopped, jaw clenched. I thought we had something. Why? Because you're a criminal. Because I'm trying to put you away. Because everything about us is impossible. It was a one-night stand, that's all. Liar. He stepped closer. I felt what you felt, so why did you disappear? People were staring. I grabbed his arm, pulled him outside. Stop. You don't know me. That night was a mistake. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but... Hurt my feelings? You think this is about hurt feelings? I don't do this, Zara. I don't bring women to my suite. I don't share pieces of myself. He stopped, ran a hand through his hair. But you were different, or I thought you were. Turns out you got what you wanted and disappeared. That's not fair. Fair? How about waking up alone after the best night I've had in years? How about feeling something real and having it ripped away? That feel fair to you, counselor? He knew. Somehow, he knew what I was. Stay away from me. Whatever you think you felt, forget it. We're from different worlds. Different worlds. He studied me with dark, penetrating eyes. You don't even know what world I'm from. I know enough. Something cold and dangerous slid into his expression. Do you? Do you really, Miss Carter? Federal prosecutor Zara Carter, who's been building a case against people I know. Did you think I wouldn't find out who you are? Terror and fury warred in my chest. Are you threatening me? I'm stating facts. You're investigating people connected to me, and you slept with me. That's a conflict of interest, maybe even career-ending. He tilted his head. Unless no one finds out. You son of a... 3 weeks. I gave you 3 weeks to come back, to explain, but you chose silence. You chose to treat me like I'm disposable. He straightened his tie. Congratulations, you got your wish. I'm staying away. But remember, you're the one who walked away. You decided we were enemies. He left me standing on the sidewalk, shaking with rage and fear, and something that felt dangerously close to heartbreak. 1 week later, the summons came through official channels. Kim Dae-jung wanted to meet. Professional representation regarding upcoming federal investigations. I threw the letter across my kitchen. Fuck! My phone rang. Keisha. Did you see the news? What news? Turn on CNN right now. I grabbed my remote. There it was. Federal investigation into Korean organized crime expands. Kim Dae-jung, Manhattan real estate mogul, named as person of interest. My career. My case. Everything I'd worked for. All about to implode because I'd slept with a man under federal investigation. Zara, please tell me you haven't seen him since that night. Please tell me this can't blow back on you. I couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. Zara? Zara? Answer me. I have to go. I ended the call. The summons sat on my counter, mocking me. I could refuse. I could report it. I could... My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You will represent me, Ms. Carter, or I will make sure everyone knows what happened between us. Your choice, my office, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Which brought me here, to this moment, to him holding all the cards while I drowned in consequences of my own making. The camera in my bedroom caught everything. I couldn't breathe. The room tilted. You're lying, I repeated weakly. Dae-jung stood, walked around the desk until he was right in front of me, close enough to touch. Am I? Would you like me to play it for my security team, or maybe send it to Morrison? I'm sure he'd love to see what his star prosecutor does in her free time. Why? The word came out broken. Why would you do this? Because you left me no choice. His control cracked. I tried to talk to you. I tried to... He stopped, jaw clenched. You want to destroy everything I've built, so yes, I will use every weapon I have. I never wanted to hurt you. Tears burned my eyes, but you did, and now you're going to fix it. He returned to his chair, back to cold businessman. You will serve as my legal counsel. You will advise me on this investigation, and you will make sure I don't end up in prison. That's extortion. That's survival. You think this world plays fair? I came from nothing, Zara. Literally nothing. And I will not lose everything because a beautiful woman decided I was disposable. Beautiful. Even in his cruelty, that word made my heart twist. If I do this, that video disappears, permanently. You have my word. Your word means nothing. But even as I said it, I remembered that night. The vulnerability in his eyes, the gentleness in his hands. Had that been real? Then you're betting your entire career on a video that may or may not exist. He leaned back. What's it going to be, counselor? Do we do this the easy way, or do I destroy you? I thought of my parents, who'd sacrificed everything for me. I thought of every black girl who'd looked up to me. I thought of my career, my reputation, my entire life. Then I thought of that night, his lips on mine, the way he'd held me like I mattered, and I made the worst decision of my life. Fine, I'll represent you, but after this is over, I never want to see you again. Something flickered in his eyes. Pain? Regret? But it vanished quickly. Deal. He extended his hand. I didn't take it, just stood and walked toward the door. Zara. I stopped but didn't turn. I'm sorry it had to be this way. His voice was quiet, almost sad. No, you're not. Monsters never are. I cried the entire drive home, pulled into my parking garage and sobbed until my ribs hurt, until my makeup ran, until I had nothing left. Then I went upstairs and opened my laptop. If Kim Dae-jung wanted a lawyer, he was going to get one. But he was about to learn something important. I didn't lose. Ever. And by the time I was done, he'd regret the day he ever tried to blackmail me. 2 days later, his office. 9 a.m. I showed up in my sharpest suit, burgundy, fitted, armor. My locks pulled back severely, red lipstick, war paint. The secretary tried to stop me. Mr. Kim is in a meeting. I walked right past her, threw open the double doors. Dae-jung sat at his desk with 3 men in expensive suits. They all turned to stare. Gentlemen, we're done. I didn't ask. I told. My client and I need to speak, privately. Dae-jung's eyebrow rose, but he nodded. The men filed out. The door closed. We were alone. Impressive entrance, he said dryly. I slammed a folder on his desk. Here's what's going to happen. You want me to represent you? Fine. But we do this my way. That means full transparency. Every business dealing, every financial transaction, every person you've done business with. You lie to me even once. I walk. Video or no video. He picked up the folder, flipped through it. This is a preliminary defense strategy. I spent the last 2 days researching every aspect of this investigation. The feds are building on circumstantial evidence and low-level testimony. If we're smart, we can create reasonable doubt, but I need complete honesty. He set the folder down, studied me. You hate me. Yes. And yet you're going to defend me. I defend guilty people all the time. That's what lawyers do. My personal feelings are irrelevant. I crossed my arms. But understand this. I'm not your friend. I'm not your confidant. I'm your lawyer, nothing more. We will not discuss that night. We will not pretend we have any relationship beyond professional. And when this is over, you delete that video and never contact me again. Are we clear?" Silence stretched between us. Then, "Crystal clear, counselor. When do we start?" "Now, I need access to all your financial records from the past 5 years, and I need to interview every employee at your major holdings. If there's dirt, I need to find it before the feds do." "There's no dirt. I run legitimate businesses." I laughed. Actually laughed. "Please. I've seen the preliminary evidence. The shell companies, the cash transactions, the connections to the Bayek family. You might have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are." His jaw clenched. "And what's that?" "A criminal who got lucky. A man who built an empire on blood money and corruption." He was out of his chair and in front of me in 2 strides. "Careful." "Or what? You'll threaten me again. Go ahead." I stepped closer, refusing to back down. "You want to play with fire, Mr. Kim? I've been burning my whole life. You don't scare me." We stood inches apart, both breathing hard. The air between us crackled with rage and something else, something dangerous. "You think you know me. You think one night gave you insight, but you have no idea what I've done to survive, what I've sacrificed, the wars I've fought." "Then tell me." The words came out before I could stop them. "If you want me to defend you, tell me the truth. All of it." For a moment, I saw something flicker, vulnerability, need, but then the walls slammed back up. "Some truths are better left buried, counselor. You should know that better than anyone." 3 weeks passed. We worked together every day, long hours in his office, reviewing documents, building strategy. He was smart, smarter than I'd expected. His legitimate businesses were actually legitimate, just used to launder money from the Beck family. But the more I dug, the more complicated it became. "This doesn't make sense." I spread financial statements across his desk. It was 11 p.m. Everyone else had gone home, just us and the city lights. "These payments to the Beck family? They're not going into the businesses. They're going into offshore accounts, but then they disappear. Maybe they're paying someone off. But who and why?" I rubbed my temples. "Unless—" A terrible thought occurred. "Unless this isn't about money laundering. Unless this is about something else entirely." Daejung went very still. "What do you mean?" "These accounts, the timing, the amounts." I looked up at him. "This looks like protection money, like someone's being extorted." "That's absurd." But I saw it in his eyes, fear, just for a second. "You're not the criminal. You're the victim. Stop. The Beck family. They're blackmailing you, forcing you to launder money, or they'll—" I stopped. "What do they have on you? What are you protecting?" "I said stop!" He slammed his hand on the desk, papers flying. "You don't know what you're talking about." "Then explain it to me. I can't defend you if I don't know the truth. What are they holding over you?" His control shattered. "My sister!" The words exploded out. "They have my sister!" Everything stopped. "What?" He turned away, shoulders rigid. "When I came to America, I had to leave her behind in Korea. She was sick, needed treatment. I sent money every month, built my businesses so I could bring her here." His voice cracked. "The Beck family found out. Told me if I didn't cooperate, they'd make sure she never got her treatments. They'd—" He stopped, hands shaking. "She's all I have, my only family. So yes, I let them use my businesses. I let them destroy my reputation. Because the alternative is losing her." Oh, God. I walked around the desk, stood in front of him. "Daejung, don't." He wouldn't look at me. "Don't pity me. Don't—" His voice broke completely. "I'm not a victim. I'm just a man trying to save the only person who matters." My hand moved on its own, reaching for his face, making him look at me. "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you explain?" "Because telling you makes you an accessory. Because if they find out you know, they'll target you too. Because—" He stopped, eyes filled with anguish. Because I didn't want you to look at me the way you're looking at me now. How am I looking at you? Like I'm someone worth saving. My heart cracked wide open. You are. God, Dae-jung, you are. His hand covered mine on his cheek. That night, when I met you, I saw someone who didn't want anything from me, someone who saw me, not my money or power, just me. His thumb traced my wrist, and then you left, and I thought I'd imagined it, thought I was just another conquest. No. Tears spilled down my cheeks. No, I left because I was scared, because I'm investigating you and I knew I'd crossed every ethical line, because what I felt for you in one night terrified me more than anything I've ever faced in court. Zara, the video, is it real? He looked at me for a long moment, then, no, there's no video. There never was. I needed you. I needed someone I could trust, and you were the only person I've ever... He couldn't finish. Relief and rage crashed through me. You lied? You blackmailed me with a lie. I was desperate. They're closing in. The feds, the Bayek family, everyone. And you're the only person smart enough to find a way out. I just needed you to stay long enough to see... He stopped. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Zara. For all of it. I should have slapped him. Should have walked out. Should have reported him. Instead, I kissed him. It was furious and desperate and tasted like tears and regret. His arms wrapped around me like I was the only solid thing in his collapsing world. My fingers tangled in his hair, pulling him closer. I hate you, I gasped against his mouth. I know. He kissed my jaw, my neck. I hate me too. This is insane. We can't... I know. But he was lifting me onto the desk, stepping between my legs, kissing me like I was oxygen and he was drowning. And God help me, I let him. We fell apart in his office with the city watching through windows. It was nothing like that first night. This was raw and real and messy with emotion. It was apologies, spoken through touch. It was two broken people finding each other in the rubble of their lives. When it was over, we lay tangled together on the leather couch, my head on his chest, his fingers tracing patterns on my bare shoulder. What do we do now? His voice was quiet. I don't know. I pressed my lips to his chest, right over his heart. But we're going to save your sister, and we're going to bring down the Beck family, and somehow we're going to survive this. Together? I lifted my head to look at him. In the dim light, he looked young, vulnerable, human. Together. 2 weeks later. You're what? Keisha nearly dropped her wine glass. We were in my apartment for our weekly dinner. Please tell me you did not just say you're in love with the man you're supposed to be prosecuting. I recused myself from the case, and it's complicated. Complicated? Zara, this is career suicide. You could lose your license. You could go to jail. What the hell are you thinking? I'm thinking he's not who everyone thinks he is. I'm thinking there's more to this. Oh my God, are you hearing yourself? You sound like every woman who's ever defended her criminal boyfriend. He's different. He's misunderstood. She whirled on me. Wake up. This man is using you. He's not. Yes, he is. He blackmailed you. He's a crime lord. And now you're what? Playing house with him? She grabbed my shoulders. This isn't a romance novel. This is real life. And in real life, women like us don't get fairy tale endings with men like him. The words hit harder than expected. You think I don't know that? You think I haven't thought about this 1,000 times? Then why? Because I love him. The confession burst out, raw and painful. Because when I'm with him, I can finally breathe. Because he sees me, really sees me, and doesn't need me to be perfect or strong or anything except myself. Because... My voice broke. Because I'm tired, Keisha. I'm so tired of fighting alone, and with him I don't have to. Keisha's expression softened. She pulled me into a hug and I started crying, deep, wrenching sobs I'd been holding in for weeks. Oh, honey. She stroked my locks. I know you're tired, but is he worth losing everything you've worked for? I don't know, but I can't walk away. Not when he needs me. She pulled back, wiped my tears. Okay. If you're doing this, we're doing this right. You need a plan, you need protection, and you need backup. What do you mean? I mean, you're not facing this alone. If the Bayek family is as dangerous as you say, you need allies. She pulled out her phone. I have a friend. Works in corporate security, former FBI. If anyone can help you navigate this, it's him. Keisha, I can't ask you to... You're not asking, I'm offering. You're my best friend. I'm not letting you go down without a fight. She squeezed my hand. But promise me one thing. What? If this goes sideways, if he betrays you or it becomes too dangerous, you walk away. You save yourself, promise me. I wanted to promise, wanted to say I'd choose myself over him, but I couldn't. The meeting. His name was Marcus Chen, tall, Asian American with sharp eyes that missed nothing. We met at a small restaurant in Queens. Ms. Carter. He shook my hand firmly. Keisha told me about your situation. I'm going to be blunt, you're in over your head. I know. Do you? The Bayek family isn't some small-time operation. They're connected to Yakuza, triads, and they have law enforcement in their pocket. People who cross them disappear. That's why I need your help. I can't protect you from this. Your best move is FBI, witness protection. No, that's not an option. Because of Kim Dae-jung. Not a question. Marcus studied me. You're in love with him. That's irrelevant. No, it's the most relevant thing, because it means you won't make rational decisions. He stopped. It means you're exactly the kind of person I used to be. I looked at him. What? 15 years ago, I fell in love with the wrong person, someone connected to people I was investigating. I thought I could save her, thought love was enough. His jaw clenched. She died because of me, because I made her a target. Ice filled my veins. Marcus, I'm telling you this because you need to understand what's at stake. These people don't care about love or loyalty. They care about power, and anyone who threatens that becomes collateral damage. So what do I do? He was quiet. Then, you find leverage, something so valuable to the Bayek family that they'll trade it for Kim's sister and his freedom. And you do it fast. What kind of leverage? Their money, their connections, evidence of something worse than what they're already accused of. He pulled out a tablet, showed me files. I've been tracking them for years. The money laundering is just the surface. They're involved in human trafficking, weapons smuggling, politicians on their payroll. Find proof, and you have bargaining power. Hope sparked in my chest. Can you help me? Officially, no, I'm a private citizen now. He smiled slightly. Unofficially, I know people who owe me favors, and Keisha's a good friend. So, yes, I'll help. But Miss Carter? Zara, if this goes wrong, if things get too hot, you run. You don't think. You don't hesitate. You save yourself. Deal? I thought of Dae-jung, his sister. The life we might have together if we survived this. Deal. The trap. The warehouse was cold, empty. This was where the Bayek family conducted their private business. I stood in the center, wearing a wire, armed with nothing but my wits and the knowledge that Dae-jung and Marcus's team were positioned outside. At 10 p.m. exactly, they arrived. 3 black SUVs, 12 men. And at the center, Min-jun Baek, a man in his 50s with cold eyes and an expensive suit. Ms. Carter. His English was perfect. I'm told you wanted to negotiate. I do. Release Kim Dae-jung's sister and erase his debt. In exchange, I'll give you something more valuable. And what could possibly be more valuable? Immunity. I have connections in the U.S. Attorney's Office. I can make your investigation disappear, all charges dropped. Clean slate. The lie came smoothly, but only if you let Dae-jung and his sister go. Minjun studied me, then laughed. You're very brave, or very stupid. Did you really think I'd believe that? My heart pounded. I'm a federal prosecutor. I know how these investigations work. I know what evidence they have, and more importantly, what they don't have. With my help, you walk away clean. Interesting. But I think you're lying. I think you're here because you fell in love with Kim Dae-jung, and now you're trying to play hero. Another step. How romantic, how foolish. I have proof. I pulled out a USB drive, complete fabrication. Case files, witness statements, everything the feds have on you, take it, verify it, then we talk terms. He gestured to one of his men, who took the drive and plugged it into a laptop. This was it, the moment where everything either worked or collapsed. The man studied the screen, eyes widening. Boss, this is all our operations, everything. Minjun's expression shifted, calculated, dangerous. How did you get this? I told you, I'm a federal prosecutor. I have access. I prayed my voice didn't shake. So do we have a deal? He was quiet for a long moment. Then, no. My stomach dropped. You see, Ms. Carter, you made a critical mistake. You assumed I need immunity, but I don't, because I have something better. Leverage over every politician, every judge, every person who matters in this city. Your little files? Meaningless. But you, he smiled, terrifying. You I can use. Kim Dae-jung will do anything to save you, just like he does anything to save his sister. So thank you for making this easy. He pulled out a gun. Zara, get down! Dae-jung's voice exploded through the warehouse as doors burst open. Everything happened at once. Marcus's team flooded in. The Beck family's men drew weapons. Gunfire exploded through the space. I hit the ground, covering my head, unable to breathe. Then strong arms pulled me up, dragged me toward cover. Dae-jung. His body wrapped around mine, shielding me as bullets flew. I've got you! He gasped into my ear. I've got you! The firefight lasted less than 3 minutes, but it felt like hours. When the smoke cleared, Marcus's team had subdued most of the Bayek men. Minjun lay on the ground, hands cuffed. And the laptop was still recording. Everything. Every word Minjun had said. Every confession. Did you get it? I asked Marcus. He held up a second recording device and smiled. Every word, plus financial transfers we traced during the meeting. We've got enough to bring down the entire operation. I sagged against Dae-jung, suddenly unable to stand. It's over. Oh my God, it's over. But Dae-jung wasn't smiling. Minseo, my sister, where is she? Minjun laughed from the ground. You think this ends anything? There are others who will come for her, for both of you. You can't hide forever. Dae-jung moved so fast I barely saw it. He was on top of Minjun, hands around his throat. Where is she? Dae-jung, stop! I grabbed his arm. Stop! He's trying to manipulate you. Marcus stepped in, physically pulling Dae-jung back. We already found her. She's safe. Seoul police raided the location an hour ago. She's on a plane to New York right now. Dae-jung went completely still. What? We found her. Your sister is safe. She's coming home. Marcus squeezed his shoulder. It's over, man. You won. And then Kim Dae-jung, the most powerful man in Manhattan, dropped to his knees and sobbed. I knelt beside him, wrapped my arms around him, held him while he fell apart. It's okay. You're okay. She's safe. You're both safe. I thought I'd lost her. I thought. He couldn't form words, just clutched me. I know, but she's safe. And so are you, and we're together. We made it. I kissed his temple, his cheek, his lips. We made it. 6 months later, the restaurant was packed. All our friends and family crammed into Dae-jung's newest Manhattan hotspot. Chinese lanterns hung from the ceiling, bathing everything in warm, golden light. Minseo sat next to her brother, healthy now, laughing at something Keisha said. She'd started college, studying pre-med, and had become one of my closest friends. Marcus had his arm around Keisha, looking at her like she hung the moon. They'd moved in together last month. Watching them made my heart full. My parents sat across from us, still slightly bewildered by how their federal prosecutor daughter had ended up engaged to a former crime-adjacent businessman, but warming up to him after seeing how he looked at me. And Dae-jung, my Dae-jung. He sat beside me, fingers laced with mine, occasionally leaning over to whisper something that made me laugh or kiss my temple when he thought no one was watching. His businesses were clean now, completely legitimate, investigated and cleared. He'd even started a foundation to help immigrants start businesses in America. And me? I'd opened my own practice, defense work for people caught in impossible situations. It was challenging, sometimes heartbreaking, but it felt right. A toast! Keisha stood, raising her glass. Everyone quieted. To Zara and Dae-jung. Two people who had absolutely no business falling in love, who went through literal hell to be together, and who somehow made it work anyway. She grinned at me. To love that's stronger than fear, to second chances, to new beginnings, I finished, looking at Dae-jung. To new beginnings, everyone chorused, raising their glasses. As the celebration continued around us, laughter and music and love, Dae-jung pulled me close, his lips brushing my ear. "Thank you," he whispered. "For what?" For not giving up on me, for seeing past what everyone else saw, for loving me when I didn't deserve it. He pulled back to look at me, eyes suspiciously bright. For saving me, Zara, in every way a person can be saved. I touched his face, thumb tracing his cheekbone. You saved me too. You showed me I could be something other than perfect, that I could be messy and scared and still be enough. You've always been enough. You've always been everything. We kissed, gentle and sweet, while our friends cheered and whistled around us. When we pulled apart, I looked around at the people who'd become our family. Keisha and Marcus wrapped up in each other, Minseo laughing with my mother, friends from both our worlds mingling and celebrating. This was what we'd fought for. This moment of peace and joy and love. "What are you thinking?" Dae-jung asked. I smiled, resting my head on his shoulder. "I'm thinking about that night at Noir. How scared I was. How sure I was that walking away was the right choice. And now? Now I'm thinking that saying yes to you, even when it was terrifying, even when it was impossible, was the best decision I ever made." He kissed the top of my head. "I love you, Zara Carter, my fierce, brilliant, beautiful warrior. I love you too, Kim Dae-jung, my broken, impossible, perfect man." Around us, our celebration continued, our new beginning, our hard-won happiness. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't worried about the future, wasn't planning 3 steps ahead, wasn't trying to control every outcome. I was just here, now, with the man I loved and the family we'd built from chaos. It was more than enough. It was everything.